Hey everyone, my name is Neil Karski, and I'm the CEO of Patient Engine, a seven-figure digital marketing, lead conversion, and coaching agency for high-ticket aesthetics providers. And I would like to personally welcome you to the Aesthetics Millionaires show, where we sit down with industry entrepreneurs to talk about their personal journeys and discuss proven growth strategies. My genuine hope is that through this podcast, we can create more success stories in this industry and help more business owners scale past their competition. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing episode of Aesthetics Millionaires Show. Today, I have the lovely Eliana Lopez. She is the CEO of Naturalness Medspa in Murrieta, California. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me here.
So, you're a registered nurse. I assume you come from a hospital background. Walk us through your journey into entrepreneurship and into aesthetics. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay, from the beginning, I actually come from a hospice setting. I was a hospice nurse for 13 years. And I think I was really burned out from working hospice, and I started getting into management and learning how to manage companies. And from there came my idea to start my own company. And I always had an interest for aesthetics. And I knew how to manage people. I knew how to um, make money and things like that. So I decided to just go all the way in and start my own company. I think hospice really shaped the way I see patients and how to work with people, how to care for people, and that has helped me a lot in this practice. Plus, all the management background that I got on it has helped a lot with my financials once I started on my own.
So you started as a hospice nurse and then you went up in management. Is that what
Yes.
happened?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's walk through that and then walk through that journey a little bit more and walk through us some of the roles you had because you touched on that a little bit and how they what you learned from them and how they shaped and defined you.
I once I moved into management, learning how to manage people, about human resources.
Did you want to be a manager or did they just present the opportunity
I
to you?
did.
You did. Okay.
I did. Yeah, I love leadership and I always wanted to be a manager. I just have not gotten the opportunity, but yeah, I wanted to be a manager. So learning how to manage people, how to hire, how to do human resources, how to budget for a team, because we had to do basically everything in my own company where I was working. I was in charge of everything. I had the role of being a director of nursing and also a executive director of 6 companies at the same time. So that gave me like a lot of background on finances, managing people, and human resources. And I think that was really like what I needed to start my own business.
When did you start your business?
2 years ago. It's gonna be 2 years. It's April 2024.
Well, you've done really well for yourself, it seems. Okay, well, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's, that's last few years have been crazy competitive in the med spa space, right? There's so many providers that opened up businesses. A lot of providers closed their doors as well. It's been chaotic, to say the least. Obviously, the industry has boomed, but that a lot of things changed. So let's walk through some of the early days of like when you came up, when you maybe made the decision, and what did you do? Like, did you put together a business plan, or was it more so just a little bit more ad hoc? Like, what happened then before you started building things?
When I started, I had a business plan and I started very small. It was just me. I was a solo practitioner. I was working just in a little room. That was in April 2024. And most of my clients were my neighbors. I live in a very large gated community. I have put like on my the community that I wanted to open my business, and I literally started booking everything out of word of mouth. And in 6 months, I was so full that I actually open my own med spa. I have a fully operating med spa. Like it took me 6 months to get there. At the beginning, I didn't have lasers. I didn't have anything. It was mostly injectables and weight loss. And with the money that I made from those things, I was able to buy my lasers, to buy everything without having to do any loans. So,
That's awesome. So you went organic guerrilla marketing. So you had a location. So you got a location,
mhm.
and then you went around in your neighborhood, a big neighborhood, and you what was it, flyers or something you gave?
Uh, Flyers, I was in our community group posting all the time. I became friends with everyone. I did
Good.
like a lot of like community events. So I used to do like a Botox party, like a hormone talk, a weight loss talk.
Yeah.
And that's how everyone started like knowing me. And I still do the same because I have found that that's what works the best where I am.
So I mean, it takes a lot of time though, right? To put yourself out there and to put events together, to be involved in the community. But it works, right? It's from an organic perspective, like you're building the best relationships with people and people see you. And since
Mhm.
the proximity, you're close to these people, then they're more likely to try you out. So you did all that stuff, and then you had a room, I assume, or small spa at that
Yeah.
point?
Mhm.
Or is it the same space that you're in right now?
No, I had just one room and then I opened. Yeah.
You had 1 room, so you did it kinda intelligibly. You said, "Hey, okay, I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna
Mhm.
reinvest instead of just treat it as an ATM.
Mhm.
I'm gonna reinvest, and I'm just gonna keep growing and growing and growing."
Yes. Mhm.
Like, so walk me through, the journey of, like, going from, um single provider, single room. How many staff do you have? 5 or 6 right now?
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, so staff of 5, really healthy practice with multiple services. So there's so much to fill in there in that journey. I know it's only been a couple years, so congratulations on that. But let's walk through what happened. You know, you at some point you found yourself with a full schedule, maybe overly full schedule, and 1 room. What happened then?
I think at that point I decided I cannot market this the way I want to market it. I cannot do everything that I want to do out of one room. I cannot grow either. Like I was gonna be stuck there for a long time. So I decided to open the med spa. It was starting to like look for the location, hiring people. We are a small family business, I call it, because all of my son is a nurse. He works with me. My sister-in-law is an esthetician and a makeup artist, so she works here too. Uh, my past secretary like actually went to aesthetic school and she works with me, and I have trained like everyone that has been really close to my family and to me to work together. So I think that has been part of our success. We are a small family and that's how our clients see us. So I think that was the first part of the process. Then after that, like I actually started working with a marketing company. So we started doing ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Um, that was since January last year that we started doing that, and that has brought also some income. But like I think our major source of new referrals and new sources has been our events. Everyone knows us for our events, and everyone wants to come to the events now.
Yeah, it's interesting they said that. So I have a client, and I want you to watch this what episode as well. But it was 2 episodes ago. This guy
Mhm.
he told me this is the best case study testimonial. I don't know if you have done some research, but I also own an agency, right?
Yeah.
Um which also helps my spas grow. And um he it reminds me of you in a sense that this guy was like attending like 3 events a week and setting up like, his booth and like I guess it was a little bit different because you're organizing the events, which is awesome. It just requires even more work probably. But he was going to like 3 to 4 events a week, right? And putting himself out there, putting his brand out there, and then he was able to sign up all these different members and grew his business nicely organically to that 30, 40 ish thousand a month. And then he came to us and said, "Hey guys, like I love what you're doing. I'm going to invest a lot of money in ads." And then I think he went from like 150 members to 350 members with us. So crazy, crazy, right? But his
Mhm.
thing was events, right? It was events as well. So the combination of organic and the paid
Mhm.
acquisition has been great. Um, I love the family brand. It's very cool.
Mhm.
We have at my agency, we have my brother works there. We have different family members that work at the agency as well. So it's awesome. Let me. I'm looking through also at your website. I love the brand and the name Naturalness. Where do you guys at this point where you feel um like are your sales like is your revenue evenly distributed, or are you guys more so there are certain types of services where you guys are really crushing it and making the most money?
Weight loss. I have tried
Still?
to like,
You think
yeah.
so?
hmm Still, like weight loss is half of my revenue.
Hmm. Tell me more.
Yeah. I have tried to like switch that, like to sell more lasers, to sell more injectables, and for some reason, we get a lot of referrals for weight loss, and it's just moving all the time. Is my biggest money maker. We have so many people on weight loss. That's how I started my business, and that's how it's still going.
How are you getting people, how are you keeping people accountable? How are you getting them results besides them just doing the injections? Why do you think you are getting so many referrals? And do you feel like your pricing is competitive? I'd love to learn more.
My pricing is very competitive, but also 90% of my patients come here every week. I have my son is in charge of that program. They get to see him every week. We do a lot of coaching with them about dieting, exercise. We are very supportive. And I think like the fact that they come here instead of taking that medication for the month gives them better results. And I think that's why we're getting also more referrals, because I don't think I have had a patient that didn't lose weight. All of my patients have great results. We really like concentrate on like making sure that they have the right medication, the right dose. If we have to add something extra, like we add it, vitamins, phentermine. We have like created a really comprehensive program, and all of our patients have amazing results. We also have body contouring, and I think that helps a little bit.
I get really great results in my body contouring spas. But I will
Mhm.
tell you that there are some people above a very high BMI that come to us for body contouring. And we've been really good at coaching, holistic coaching.
Mhm.
Just basic stuff, like movement, nutrition,
Yeah.
sleep, hydration, being in a caloric deficit, which is tough to do for most people. Walking, so like our clients are getting good results, and I've pondered because my brand is really truly non-invasive, so I've pondered about adding GLP-1s, but it doesn't align with my current brand, although I know it works. I know you've had
Yeah.
great results with it, and we were potentially talking about adding thinner, which is a non, which is more of a alternative GLP-1. That's more,
Mhm.
let's say, that's an oral alternative as well. So because I do think that people do need even more help for sure.
Not just that, Neil, like all the patients that go into GLP-1s, they finish losing their weight, and it takes a while. It takes 6, 7 months, sometimes 1 year. But like they gain 2 pounds and they start freaking out and they come back. So a lot of these patients are just on GLP-1s forever.
Whoa. Do you think that's a
So
big
they
difference?
like they just like come back, like they like leave it for like 3 months. They come back like, oh, I gain a few pounds, like let me do it again. So like I think like is like those patients are always coming back to me. And not just that, like the patients that come for GLP-1s, they're here every week. We see them. So when we see them, we can also market for other things, for our events, for products, for promotions. So I think like when you have like all that contact with the patients, they become really good clients and really good members of the med spa.
Um, have you done a good job at cross selling from weight loss to facial aesthetics, or do you feel like that's like a still an opportunity for you?
No, I think like we can like most of my patients that like are on GLP-1s are probably on my membership too for the med spa. We have a membership. So probably like 80% of them are on the membership. They're just here so often that makes it easy.
You said how many people are on a membership?
Like about 80% of my GLP-1 patients. So
Or on what membership?
so we have a membership that is like about $200. It's for facials and we give them discounts for Botox. Like they get a little bit of Botox, a little bit of filler. They get to try all of our services.
We got to get you more facial aesthetics members.
Yeah.
That's the game plan. That's the game
Yeah.
plan. Because you're
Mm-hmm.
doing great on weight loss, right? I think now
Mm-hmm.
it's like so. Going back, because I think this is fresh in my mind. Like I know what Shannon's done is like he has so many members, and then they come back every month, and they get their treatment of choice. But he upsells product, and he upsells other treatments, other higher ticket treatments, etc. And a goal for med aesthetics, as we know, the goal is just to make sure our clients are coming as often as possible and we're solving
Mm-hmm.
as many pain points as possible, right? So
Yeah.
you know, I always tell people, I'm like, man, every single person could be worth $3,000 to $10,000 to you every single
Mm-hmm.
year. You know,
Yeah.
I think that there's this attitude with some owners that are like, "Oh, it's just, I have to sell this patient." I'm like, "Yeah, because you can make a lot of money from this person."
You're not just selling them, like you're like it's like I think like I stopped seeing it as a sale. I'm like, you have this issue and I'm gonna help you with that. Is like is I'm not trying to sell you something that you don't need.
Yep,
I'm like, you came, like we have really good conversations, like we have really good relationships with the patients. And if you mention to me you have an issue, or if we get over your assessment and you say this is what I need, then I'm gonna suggest that to you.
yep,
Yeah, I think like our average patient here spends like about $4,000 a year.
$4,000 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. So, that's why I tell people too, in advertising or patient acquisition or whatever you want to call it, to me, for me at least, that's what I tell clients. I'm like, we're really good at my agency is like really good at getting people in the door, right? Like getting
Mhm.
butts and seats, baby. That's what we call it, butts and seats. And I always tell people, I'm like, look at it this way. Look at it as a long-term patient opportunity.
Mhm.
Let's just say you're spending $10,000 a month in marketing. Let's just say that, and you're getting 50 people in, and every single one of these people can be worth $4,000. It's
Mhm.
amazing. I do think that aesthetics is still, although it's very competitive and saturated, still one of the best ways to get a high return on investment.
Mhm.
It really is. It really is, right? And it's gonna cost you advertising dollars, or it's gonna cost you time. And I know you put in a lot of time into your business because these events, like, they take a lot of time. Eventually, you're gonna get to a point too where you're like, I'm gonna pay somebody like Neil to get me more because you as you grow your business, your time is going to be the most important thing to you, right?
Yeah, no, and we have paid for paid ads. Like we did like ads for an entire year. Right now, I took a little break and I'm reassessing what is that we need to do for ads. But like the entire last year we were running ads and we work with a marketing agency.
Good.
Hmm.
No, I think it's important.
Hmm.
So aside from events and paid advertising, what else? And obviously, you just putting yourself out there in your community in the beginning. What else do you think has worked really well for you to scale you to where you're at today?
I think it's like who we are here. We don't lie to our patients. We provide ethical care. We are very caring. I think like when the patients come to my med spa, they all feel like family and friends. If anyone comes to our events, we actually have become like a lot of us friends. We go out after. We are we are part of a family, and that has helped a lot grow in my business because people are happy to come here to refer others. We like there is a lot of love and like really good energy in this space. So I think that has been super important.
Hmm. What are your goals? What are your goals for the spa? What do you want to do? Um,
I have goals. My goal, growing more. Obviously, I would like to eventually stop injecting and having two full-time injectors. And honestly, I would like to move out of where I am. So I would like to build my own space. Right now, we have 4 rooms. We have like it's a good space, but like my dream is to build my own med spa. So yeah, I would like to integrate more wellness into it. So that's why I want a bigger space because I have like the dream of integrating all wellness and more hormones, peptides, and other things into it. So this place, we love it, but like it's starting to be small for us.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
happens when you grow.
yeah.
Um, do you want to have multiple locations, or would you want to have just one really beautiful, big flagship location?
I want one big flagship location. That's yeah.
Yeah. So, you're not familiar with my business model, but I own body sculpting studios and they're currently in small spaces or salon suites. So, but they're very beautifully, like nicely designed.
Mhm.
Um, and then people always ask me like, "Are you gonna have your standalone building or space?" Like, and I think it's cool. I'd love to have eventually. I think it requires a lot of work and time,
Mhm.
which and construction and so on and so
Yeah.
on and so on and so on.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a project, and I have a lot of clients with beautiful spaces, and it's great to see. And I also think it would be cool to have like a place where people could come and hang out a little bit as well, because I always tell people when you do have a really good physical space, which right now for me, I do basically by appointment only, and it's most of my new patients come from my agency plus from some organic search and referrals. And but when you have your own space and it becomes like a ritual for people and it becomes like a place where they go and like hang out and where they can just kind of disconnect a little bit, right? So,
Mhm.
I think having a physical space is certainly advantageous from a standpoint of client experience, from a standpoint of retention, from a standpoint of sales, from a standpoint of visibility. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot to it for sure. And is that going to be in Marietta as well?
Yes, I already grew here. I cannot imagine going somewhere else. All my clients are here. And I'm like centrally located too, like between a lot of cities that don't have too much going on. So I think, yeah, I would love to have it here.
So you're Hispanic,
Yes,
obviously. Where are you from originally?
Colombia.
Colombia, okay. Is there a big Hispanic community where you're at?
Yes. It
Has that helped you as well?
has helped me, but it's also a really hard population to market.
Tell me more. Let's get it out there. Let's get it
Get
out
it on
there.
there. So yeah, like most of our population is probably Hispanic. Um, but I'm also 1 hour from San Diego and from Tijuana. So I think a lot of my patients like just come with that idea that like they can have Mexico prices here.
Mhm.
And that they can just go to TJ and just get it cheaper. So it's being complicated. Like I love them, but like I'm like, yeah, like no, we're not doing that here. I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, mm-mm.
Let's
Mm.
talk about so we talked about marketing, let's talk about sales. Um I've become very passionate about sales, and I know
Mhm.
that you kind of said, "Hey, I don't even see it as sales anymore," but let's face it, we have to sell, right?
Yeah.
If you're not selling, then you're doing something wrong, right? Because
Mhm.
this isn't a field, this isn't an industry where you can just when somebody just walks in and without you doing any work, they just buy, right?
Yeah.
This isn't insurance. This isn't a shoe store. Um,
Mhm.
this isn't a grocery store. This is a cash based discretionary income ancillary type of provider
Mhm.
space. So in my opinion, if you, I coach a lot on sales, right? I coach
Mhm.
on mindset. I coach on designing your first visit, having the right consultation, having the right intake forms. Um, I don't consult on like doing treatments because I'm not a provider, but um, I consult on objection and handling, putting together the actual offer of the treatment plan, and closing the deal. So all these different things that I feel like
Mhm.
a lot of people just totally, in some ways, disregard or oversee.
Mhm.
So how did you first? When did you first realize that you had to sell? Because we do.
I knew I had to sell because, like, even from my hospice background, we sold hospice. Like, so I had to do sales on hospice. I knew, like, when I went into aesthetics, I had to sell too. It wasn't gonna be just the clients were not gonna come to me and just decide like what they have to do. I knew like in any business and everything we do in life, we're actually selling. When you start dating someone, you're selling yourself. When like you're always like doing a sales transaction. So I came with that perspective in mind from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're always trying to make a point. We're
Hmm.
always trying to influence other people.
Hmm.
We're always trying to make an argument, or win an argument, or yeah, I mean, persuade people, right? Um,
Hmm.
it's just human nature, right? So like, I like that you say that. Like we are always selling in every single relationship, right? And I do think that there's hard sells, and I do think that there's like genuine, authentic selling. That's like, hey, I'm here because I want to help you.
Hmm.
You're here because you need help. You're here because there's something that attracted you to my practice, and I want to make sure that we continue our relationship. And I can't do that if I don't sell, you know? And we don't have to use it. You don't have to it doesn't have to have a negative connotation in my opinion.
Yeah. Hmm. No, it doesn't.
Who sells in your practice besides you?
Me, my sister-in-law, but like everyone has to say like is that's just part of the job. If you're working here, you need to learn like all of our products. You need to learn how to do sales. I think my sister-in-law, which is the esthetician, and me, like we are better at it. So we try to take most of it, but everyone that sells. If we have an event before an event, I have like probably like 7 people helping me. We do a little bit of training. Everyone has to know how to do the sales, what promotions we have, what we're doing, and everyone is selling those days.
Hmm.
Not just that, my patients know when they come that they are buying something. I think everyone that comes like is really supportive. They know what they're coming from, and I think we do really good with our sales at events.
Is everybody incentivized with the proper commission structure to sell?
Yes.
I have to ask because I had a mentor who, before I went into entrepreneurship, I was doing strategy and growth consulting for small to mid-sized service provider businesses, and
Mhm.
that's how that's where quite a bit of my background came from. And in my company, the consulting company that we worked at, and they had different departments. It had the consulting, the technology, IT support, and then there was like talent, staffing, and recruiting. And everybody had an incentive to sell,
Mhm.
and whether it was within their own personal networks, if they were networking somewhere else,
Mhm.
it, you know, he called it everyone sells culture, which I really love.
Mhm.
And if somebody has a commission and an incentive to sell, like, then they could be another marketing channel for you.
Mhm.
I call it employee brand ambassadors.
Yeah. Mm.
How do you train your people?
Oh my
Well, you
god.
work with families, so you have to set some boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard sometimes. Honestly, how do I train? We're always training. So I think every week we're like training on something different, new products. We have a new product, I'm always scheduling new trainings about our skincare, new products, new promotions. Everyone needs to know what I do and what we do, each one of the services in and out. So when you start working with me, you're gonna be literally shadowing me and listening to what I say to the patients all the time. Lately, we have been doing also mock calls and sales where we are having someone do like all the reviews, like my husband say no, like all the things that people come up with. Today we had a new one, so like we probably are gonna do a little mock call on how to handle a patient like her. That we left alone for a minute, and then she went in Google and found like a different med spa with like different like better pricing while we left her alone for a second. So um, we know well not to leave the patients alone, but like we did, and while we exited the room for a second, she did all that. So I think it's just like yeah, constantly seeing like okay, like this is what happened with this patient. How can we improve? And training each other to yeah to answer all those questions and see how and also like teaching people how to do good assessments. That's one thing that we have been doing the last 2 weeks too, teaching how to do the assessment with the patient, make sure that they understand what's happening with their bodies. We created a new assessment technique where the patient is answering all the questions. We are not telling them what they need, we're like just guiding them towards them selling themselves the product. So that has been new to us and we have been practicing a lot.
When somebody comes in for a consultation,
Mhm.
do you guys address multiple things in a consultation? Is it like a holistic consultation usually? Let's just say that you got somebody, let's just say you and I ran a campaign and I sent you a tox client. What
Mhm.
happens then? Do you guys do anything around like face and body stuff, or how do you position? What's your consultation strategy?
Sometimes it depends of what the patient, but like I usually, when my patient comes for a consultation, I handle them a mirror. I put them in front of the mirror and I tell them, "Tell me what is bothering you."
You know what? So I work with some really awesome, awesome, awesome clients and injectors. The
Yeah.
recommendation that they made, which I really like, which we have started doing in my spas, is show me the areas you love,
Yeah. Okay.
and first, and then it's like, I like that, right? And then show me the areas that where you'd like to see some improvement.
Yeah.
That's cool. Um, but it follows generally what you're doing,
Yeah.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are providing, like in my business, I'm very good. We're very really good at body sculpting at my spa. But in your spas, you can fix a lot of things. You can help people with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the incentive for you is like just trying to figure out, top down, right? right?
Mm-hmm.
What can you help them with? And I'm sure
Yeah.
an average customer has 3 to 5 different pain points.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um, so let's talk about so you have an awesome brand. It seems like, and you guys have grown really, really fast. You have, you continue to driving a lot of these events and stuff like that. Aside from building out your own space, continue to grow, continue to make more money. What else? What else are you looking to accomplish? What else are you looking to maybe add into your business as well? You do body sculpting, you do weight loss, you do facial aesthetics and injectables. What else are you going to add into your business that you feel like is really going to move the needle for your practice and for your clients?
So this is our new project. This is what we're working on right now. Since we have so many patients on weight loss, so many patients on body contouring, what we're gonna be offering right now is liquid lipo, which is that PCDC. We're actually starting to run ads for that this week, and hopefully start targeting a lot of our patients too, and see how we do with that. It's a high
What
ticket sale. It's gonna be, yeah. So we're gonna.
Walk me through the rationale behind that.
I think we have had a lot of patients that like still have like that stubborn fat that like is just like localized, and we cannot reach with body contouring or just with weight loss, because weight loss is general.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're losing weight everywhere, but like we have like a lot of patients that have like the little double chin, like love handles, little things that they want to target, and we don't have like a really good way to target it. Body contouring does a good job, but it's not perfect, and we found a way to market liquid lipo and create a high ticket sale out of it that we think is going to be very successful.
What's the offer?
It's going to be $4,000 for three up to
People
three
don't buy
sessions.
people don't buy packages off of ads, right? Let's face that. They don't.
Oh no, no, we're training really hard on sales right now. We're doing like we're meeting at five
What's
thirty
the
in the
intro
morning.
offer?
Oh, the intro offer is $99
Oh, there we go.
to come and try it. Yeah,
Okay, that's what I'm getting to.
yeah.
So liquid lipo. Anything else? Any other services?
No, that's like we're gonna be concentrating on that one for like a little bit. I usually don't like to introduce too many things at a time. I like to bring one thing, see how it's doing, see how we're performing, and then we bring something else. It's just too much for us to learn different services, different sales. So I usually bring one thing at a time. I'm pretty slow.
um, what type of advice would you give your younger self 2 years ago? When first starting out, now that you have, a lot of experience, you've grown your business really fast. What type of, mistakes you wish? I mean, the mistakes make us who we are today, right?
Yeah.
They're mostly lessons. But what type of advice would you give to your younger self?
Okay. So I think the major thing is not to be afraid. I had the opportunity to open my med spa probably 7 years ago, and I was always really scared because people kept on telling me there is a lot of competition, a lot of places are closing, and there is not enough for everyone. And that is not true. If you put on the work, there is enough resources and enough patients for everyone. You just have to put the work, and it's hard work. So I never say it's easy, but also I know like working hard and having faith and having I don't worry too much about my competition. Actually, I don't even know who my competition is. I know like a few clients come from them because they tell me, but like I have been so concentrated on building my brand, my prices, and everything in a way that works for me that like I don't worry about the rest, and that has worked really well for me. So I think that like not being so scared. I could have started like a long time ago, and I think I would have been successful too. So that's one thing. And I think my biggest mistake when I started working in aesthetics, I did all this alone. I didn't have any advice. I didn't have investors. It was a lot of my own savings that I used to start. And I think when I started dealing with reps, all those promotions that they give you, oh, if you spend $20,000, I'll give you this. And that was raw for me at the beginning, getting rid of all that product, like 20,000 from Allergan, 20,000 from MERS, like it was like it got paid off, but it was raw. So I think like you have to stop that noise, like that you're getting all these promotions and all that, and just buy what you need. You don't have to go and get like into all these things, especially at the beginning when you don't know what's gonna sell and what is not.
Yeah. Let's get in a couple of fun questions. I like to throw things off a little bit at the end here because we've been talking business, talking entrepreneurship, which is all fun and games. So, what is your favorite travel destination?
Travel destination. I love Japan. That was my favorite place to visit.
Japan.
Yeah.
It's on my bucket list for sure.
Yeah.
Did you go in the winter or in the summer?
I went in May,
Okay.
so it was warm. Wasn't too hot, but like it was, yeah.
What is a personality characteristic that you would want to change about yourself?
Oh man. I like you know what? Like I don't think I would want to change it because that has made me who I am. But I'm very perfectionist and I'm a little bit controlling. So I think I annoy people sometimes with like what I'm doing, but that also has helped me grow in my business what it is. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, if you had to pick one word that defines your brand, your med spot, what would that word be?
it's natural results.
One word. I need
One
one
word?
word, and it can't be your
Oh
name.
man. It can be my name. Okay, so it will be, you know what, like let's put caring. I think I like that word.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. If people want to network with you or come check out your spa or just mastermind with you and learn more about your story or exchange ideas, where can people find you, Eliana?
So my website, which is naturalnessmedspa.com, and I actually like I'm a business coach too, so they can always call me. I'm always willing to help anyone that like has questions about how to grow, how I have done it. Um, I'm super passionate about helping other women because I struggle a lot in life, and getting here wasn't as easy as it looks. So like
Never is.
yeah, so yeah, like I have a story behind all that. So I love to help other women getting achieving their dreams. So um, they can always call me. Like if you want to share my phone number, like that's totally okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think website would be great. I think maybe Instagram as well. You
Yeah.
want to drop your handle in there and just share
So
that with
my handle is naturally and the lower dash Eliana.
naturally, Eliana.
Yeah.
Eliana, thank you so much for sharing your story and all the important lessons and talking about your brand. And I'm sure you're going to inspire more women and continue to grow and help a lot of people. So I appreciate you hopping on this podcast with me.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.